Hello everyone, so welcome once again to my channel. So today we will be studying about eco-industrial parks, how factories can help our planet. We will understand eco-industrial parks. So alright, this is actually the starting idea of the whole topic. Let's understand it clearly. Factories gave us growth but also problems. This slide is comparing two situations. The old way, traditional industry. What happened earlier? Industrial industries helped countries grow economically, created jobs and development. But problems created, used too much water and energy, produced a lot of waste, caused air, water and soil pollution. So growth came with environmental damage. The new goal, modern sustainable industry, what we want now? Industries that are clean and efficient, use less resources, produce less pollution, and focus is on sustainability, efficiency, environmental protection. So earlier focus was only on production and profit. Now focus is on production plus environment plus efficiency. Why this leads to cleaner pollution? Because we realized resources are limited, pollution is dangerous, waste is loss of money. So a new approach was needed, and that new approach is cleaner production. Eco-industrial park. Why this idea came? We saw earlier factories caused pollution, used too many resources, so we needed a better system. So origin of the idea was in 1992 at a big global meeting, United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. A new idea was introduced, Eco-Industrial Park. It is an industrial area that is environment friendly, good for business, and efficient. In EIP, one company's waste becomes another company's resource. Just like nature, nothing is wasted here. The main goals of EIP is to reduce pollution, save energy and water, improve efficiency and support sustainable development. First example, that is first real eco-industrial park, was set up in Kalundborg, Denmark in 1989 and is famous for sharing resources between the industries. So eco-industrial park is industries working together to reduce waste and use resources efficiently. Let's understand with very simple example. Factory A produces steam, factory B uses that steam instead of wasting it. Waste becomes useful. So why eco-industrial parks are important? Why it is a good idea? First, economic benefits, money plus jobs. Industries save costs, less waste, less energy use, create more jobs, and improve business performance. Environmental benefits, cleaner planet, as it reduces pollution, use less water and energy, reuse materials instead of wasting. Social benefits, better life for people, healthier living conditions, safer workplaces, more employment opportunities so people live better lives. How it helps? EIPs connect industries so that waste from one becomes resource for another, and energy and materials are shared, efficiency increases, everything becomes more organized and sustainable. It supports sustainable development, means balancing economy, environment, and society. So this slide focuses only on economic benefits, money or business side. Let's understand it. Eco-industrial parks help companies earn more and spend less. First, save money, use less energy, water, raw materials, spend less on waste treatment and disposal. So less waste is equal to lesser cost. Create jobs. Jobs inside factories, jobs outside like transporting service suppliers. So it helps the local economy grow, becomes more competitive. Efficient companies produce more with less, have lower costs, offer better prices. So they become stronger than the competitors. Attract investment. Clean, modern industries attract investors and international companies. People prefer to invest in efficient, sustainable, and low risk businesses. So, eco industrial parks are not just green, they are also profitable. Environmental benefits of eco industrial parks. So, they are good for the planet also. It helps protect the environment while doing industrial work. First, less pollution, cleaner air, cleaner water because industries reduce emissions and treat waste properly. Second, efficient use of resources. It uses less water, less energy, less raw materials, thus avoiding wastage of resources. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Waste is reduced, reused, recycled. For example, waste from one factory becomes the resource for another factory. Protect nature. It protects forests, animals, and natural ecosystems, resulting in lesser damage to the environment. Safer waste management. It includes proper handling of chemicals, hazardous waste, resulting in prevention of accidents and contamination. So, eco industrial parks help industries grow without harming the nature. Eco-industrial parks are good for people because they create more job opportunities in local communities. When industries grow in a cleaner and more organized way, they need workers in factories, maintenance, and services. This helps reduce unemployment and supports families. They also improve working conditions. In eco-industrial parks, companies follow better safety standards and use modern equipment. Means workers are less exposed to dangerous situations and their health is better protected. Another important benefit is improved community well-being. Because these parks reduce pollution and manage waste properly, the surrounding environment becomes cleaner. As a result, people living nearby enjoy better health, safer neighborhoods, and a higher quality of life. These parks also support education and skill development. They often include training programs or facilities where people can learn new technical and industrial skills. This helps workers become more qualified and increases their chances of getting better jobs in the future. Overall, these parks are not only good for businesses and the environment, but they also improve people's life by providing jobs, ensuring safety, supporting communities, and building skills. How to build an eco-industrial park, a three-step approach. This step focuses on the micro level, which means improving what happens inside each individual factory. The goal is to make every factory greener and more efficient before thinking about the whole industrial park. At this level, companies work on using their resources more efficiently. This is called resource efficiency and cleaner production. It means using better methods to reduce waste and pollution during production. Instead of wasting raw materials, water, or energy, the factory tries to use only what is necessary. Another important part is energy efficiency. Factories aim to use less electricity and fuel by improving machines, processes, and energy systems. This helps reduce cost and also lowers environmental impact. Factories also try to improve their environmental performance, means following environmental regulations and even going beyond them. They reduce emissions manage waste properly, and ensure that their operations are safe for the environment. Training and awareness are also very important at this stage. Employees are taught how to work in more eco-friendly manner. When workers understand how their actions affect the environment, they can help reduce waste and improve efficiency in daily operations. In simple terms, we can say this step is about making each factory cleaner, smarter, and more responsible before moving to bigger system level improvements. This step focuses on the macro level, means improving the entire industrial park instead of just one factory. At this stage, the goal is to create a green and well planned industrial area where all companies benefit from shared systems and infrastructure. One important idea here is sharing resources. For example, instead of each factory treating its own wastewater, the whole park can use a shared treatment plant. This is more efficient and reduces overall costs and pollution. Green spaces are also an important part of this level. Trees, gardens, and green belts are added to the industrial area. These help improve air quality, reduce heat, and make the environment healthier for workers and nearby communities. Another key aspect is the use of renewable energy. The park can use shared resources like solar panels or wind turbines to produce clean energy. This reduces dependence on fossil fuels and lowers environmental impact. Good infrastructure is also necessary. This includes proper roads, drainage systems, and well organized layouts. When the park is well designed, it improves efficiency and reduces environmental problems like flooding or waste buildup. Finally, disaster management is considered. The industrial park should have plans in place to handle emergencies such as accidents, fires, natural disasters. This ensures the safety of workers in industries and the surrounding community. So, this step is about making the whole industrial park greener, smarter, and more efficient by sharing systems and planning everything properly. Industrial symbiosis. It is the most advanced stage in building an eco-industrial park. At this level, different factories do not work separately. Instead, they cooperate and support each other. The main idea is very simple. The waste produced by one company does not get thrown away. Instead, it becomes a useful resource for another company. In this way, what was once considered waste is now used again as a raw material. Companies also share resources like energy and water. For example, excess heat or steam from one factory can be used by another. This reduces the need for new resources and improves overall efficiency. In addition, industries can share services, equipment, and even knowledge. This cooperation helps reduce costs and improves productivity for everyone involved. This system creates a kind of partnership where all companies benefit. Waste is reduced, resources are used more efficiently, and the whole industrial park becomes more sustainable. So, this step is about industries working together in a smart way where nothing is wasted and everything is reused as much as possible. This slide talks about a real world example of industrial symbiosis in Kalundborg, Denmark. It is known as the first and most famous example of how industries can work together in a sustainable way. In Kalundborg, different companies are connected to each other and share resources instead of wasting them. What one company does not need becomes useful for another. This includes sharing water, energy, and materials. Because of this system, they are able to use resources much more efficiently. Instead of wasting large amounts of water and energy, they recycle and reuse them within the industrial network. One very important result is that they save about 3 million cubic meters of water every year. This shows how powerful this approach can be when industries cooperate. This example proves that industrial symbiosis is not just a theory, it works in real life and can bring big environmental and economic benefits. So it shows that when industries work together and share resources, they can reduce waste, save money, and protect the environment at the same time. So this slide gives a modern example of industrial symbiosis in Gujarat, India. Gujarat is one of the most industrialized states in the country, which means it has many factories and industries. Because there are so many industries, a large amount of waste is produced. In fact, a significant portion of India's hazardous waste come from this region. This creates serious environmental and management challenges. To deal with this problem, Gujarat is using the concept of industrial symbiosis. Instead of treating waste as something useless, industries are finding ways to reuse it. Waste from one company can be used as a resource by another company. By doing this, waste is reduced and resources are used more efficiently. At the same time, companies can save money and even create value from materials that would otherwise be thrown away. So, simply, Gujarat is turning waste into useful resources by making industries work together, which helps both economy and the environment. This slide shows how industrial symbiosis actually works in Vapi, a major industrial area in Gujarat. The main idea is that waste from one industry is not thrown away but is used by another industry. First, textile industries produce fabric waste. Instead of discarding it, this waste is sent to a gasifier. The gasifier converts it into a fuel called synthetic gas. This gas is then used in a gas turbine to produce electricity, which can be used by other industries. Next, the dyes and dye intermediate industries produce a chemical byproduct called dilute sulfuric acid. Instead of treating it as a waste, it is used in a fiber recovery process. This helps recover useful materials rather than wasting them. Then the paper industry generates sludge as a waste product. This sludge is sent to the cement industry where it used as a raw material for or fuel. This reduces the need for new resources. Finally, the agro industry produces organic waste. This waste is sent to a composting facility where it is converted into compost. This compost can be used in agriculture to improve soil quality. So in Vapi, different industries are connected in a smart way. Each one's waste becomes useful for another. This reduces pollution, saves resources, and creates a more efficient and sustainable industrial system. This slide shows the final result of industrial symbiosis, which is also called a cycle of green growth, means that industrials grow and make profit, but at the same time they protect the environment. When companies start working together and using each other's waste as resources, businesses become more efficient. Because they waste less and use fewer raw materials, they save money and become more competitive in the market. At the same time, the environment is protected. There is less pollution, less waste, and less need to extract new natural resources like water, energy, and raw materials. This helps keep air, water, and land cleaner. Another important result is that new business opportunities are created. For example, recycling companies, waste processing units, and renewable energy projects can develop. This leads to innovation and job creation. Finally, the economy continues to grow, but in a sustainable manner. This means we are not damaging nature while developing industries. Instead, we are protecting natural resources so that future generations can also benefit. So, overall, industrial symbiosis creates a balance where economic growth and environmental protection go hand in hand.